music.
Heyo. Live.
Yeah. Just testing
From
the video.
Blackrock's Transition Investing Clinic. It's an all-new, terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined as always by analyst hole Matt Moscardi and special guest star Ari, the Data Queen.
You might trigger Blackrock with the word transition there.
It's their word now. Now they're doing transitioning.
In today's ESG skeptic-scented ISS tote bag of wishy-washy oil-stained washcloths called March 5th, 2024, The Good Game!
Yay!
Wow, it's been a while.
We
haven't
haven't
done The Good Game
played
since
in
October.
so long.
I don't know why we stopped.
Has it really been since October?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess we were in a bad mood.
I mean, don't you run this show? Isn't it like
I do.
So maybe you're having a bad since October.
I have been having a bad since October, but if it's any indication, I can't tell you how many hours I spent this morning, even finding 10 good headlines. Unbelievable.
Hey,
chore.
spring's here, so
So let's just jump into the good game because it sounds like it's a not so good game, and let's do it with some fun music.
Oh, I like
it
that.
is March.
Yeah, what's good?
Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics, the only ESG data platform to measure real board influence and diversity power gaps. Here's how the good game works. I read the headline, and our fabulous pundits react on a scale from 1 to 10 of how good it is. This is just to get some of the negative out. We do too much negative, so let's get the positive in.
It's
Ready?
not our fault the world is negative, but let's do it.
Let's start with the Blackrock tease at the beginning of the show. Here's the headline. Step aside ESG. BlackRock is doing transition investing now.
Oh.
The world's biggest asset manager has abandoned the acronym while pumping billions of dollars into clean energy. Now, Matt, you
Hey,
groaned.
Matt should be so happy about this.
Thank you, Ari. Isn't that right?
Getting
Didn't he
rid
want
of
to
the
kill the
acronym.
acronym?
Exactly.
So I wanted
And
to
it
kill
sounds
the
like they're
acronym.
still doing a thing too. They're still investing.
Enemy number one.
I wanted to kill the acronym in 2019 and 2020 when they were using it to basically pump out ridiculous funds that didn't have anything to do with anything, because the acronym was just a data set. So saying like the ESG fund was like saying the Dewey Decimal Fund. Like it's just, but now they're killing the acronym because of the political pressure around the acronym. So the reason they're killing
now
it.
Matt wants the acronym.
Now
But
I
it
want to
sounds-
reclaim it. Reclaim it. Own your acronyms.
But maybe this is a good thing, right? Because it sounds like they're still investing in clean energy, but they're just pushing away all the noise.
So that's the hard part about this, because this is the money they're pumping into clean energy is real, right?
Exactly. Thank you.
But transition investing, they know that trans is not a thing that the Republicans like
Oh,
either.
stop.
They
Okay,
basically
just
just
stop.
made trans investing.
Damien, this one's an easy one. Follow the
Ari.
money. This is a 10.
What?
Wow, Ari,
No, that is
Wow.
Yup.
I love
Put your money where
Ari
your mouth
coming out
is.
hot. I love it.
ESG for most people only ever meant clean energy. They only ever think of the
Matt,
E, right?
all you wanted was to kill the acronym, so just stop your
In
blustering.
2019, welcome
Okay.
to 2024.
It's too late now.
But
Now I
we're
want to
part of the
re-own it.
vanguard. We're ahead of the
Just bring it
times.
back.
What's your vote?
Look, I think this is cowering in fear just by changing the language. Just say we're using ESG data and leave it at that. Own it. I'm giving this a 2.
Wow.
That is the correct answer.
Ari is
I'm
actually accurate on that one. The next headline, under pressure from activist investors, big brands agreed to report and reduce plastics use. Shareholder advocacy groups have already won plastics-related concessions from companies including Disney, Hormel, and Choice Hotels.
Wow.
What? Disney?
Yeah,
Okay.
Disney concessions.
I think one of the biggest industries for plastics, isn't it the oil industry?
Well, they make the plastic.
They
yeah.
shockingly have a lot of plastic pollution. So I don't really care about Disney.
Wow.
and
Your
they're
mood went
dumb
the opposite
plastic.
direction.
What a whiplash.
Yeah. So the companies, some of the new commitments include reporting on and reducing the amount of plastics they use in their packaging.
Ding dong,
well-
a report.
As well as more closely
Here's the
monitoring hazardous plastic additives. So again, this is just another way to win your proxy contest, right? You can threaten directors and you can
All right,
negotiate. Go
I'm
ahead.
all for disclosure, so 5.
That doesn't sound like all four. That sounds like I'm mediocrely for disclosure.
We should all be disclosing.
Matt, help her out here.
Well, so I'm taking issue with the headline, which is what this game's about. Under pressure from activist
Under pressure.
investor.
Yes.
Okay. The activist investors they're talking about are Green Century Capital Fund,
Okay.
which is a longtime Boston SRI fund.
Yeah.
To call them an activist in this context, like it makes them sound like they're on par with Trian investing
Yeah,
or
we've discussed
Blackwell's.
a lot. Like unfortunately, there are two meanings to this term activist investor.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
this is the more derogatory meaning. They mean
How
it like
dare
this
you.
is the one where they're like social
The hippies.
activists and the
Yeah.
hippies.
Gluing yourself to the Mona Lisa.
Exactly.
These are the good ones then.
They
Got
are
it.
also referenced
Thank
in the
you,
article
thank you.
as you sow. So this headline actually, and this headline is from Grist.
Yes, exactly.
They don't mean it as a derogatory, but
No.
everyone else would
This is the
read
good
this
game, Matt.
and
I
say
picked it
this
as a
is
good thing.
derogatory. I'm with Ari. This is a 5. The win
what?
is good.
What's wrong with wins?
More
I'm not-
disclosures.
I'm for disclosure, but the
not just
derogatory
disclosure, Ari.
nature
They're also-
of this, they're not activist investors, okay?
Okay,
But they're
but they're
they
also
might be
reducing the
social
amount of
activists.
plastics they use. All right, okay, let's move on. You guys are depressing me. Next headline. This is a
the
good one.
game is all about depressing.
This might be the best of the week. Gen Z approved clothing giant, the North Face,
Uh-huh.
is offering customers 20% off if they take a racial inclusion course. This is the Bud Light of all Bud Lights, right? This is
I
the
love
Bud
that.
Lightiest headline ever.
I
Well,
love it.
I thought you were going to say that they gave the company away, like Patagonia.
No, let the
So-
audience have its moment. This is finally a moment on the good game since October
and Ari,
to cheer.
Just
So-
so you know, this is not like a simple little thing. This is a 1 hour long course called Allyship in the Outdoors. This is an actual
What?
thing. This is more
is
training
for
than
an
you get.
hour?
This is more training you get than if you work at Blackrock, for instance.
Yeah, you know what? The outdoors is pretty weight, so
Thank you.
this
I
is
was
good.
I was gonna buy a carabiner, but it's gonna cost me an hour to get 20% off of it now.
I like it. Why not? They're doing good stuff. I'll give it an 8.
Why not? Exactly.
Why
I mean,
not?
usually you have to fill out you put like a code in to get a stupid coupon. Why not make people do a thing?
Yeah, I spend my time on Retail Me Not looking for one code that works to get 6%
They
off.
don't work. None of them
You
work.
know, maybe this weekend I'll take it and see what it's like.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll
This
report
is
back.
Ari's best idea she's ever had.
Maybe.
I was going to say the Peruvian immigrant woman who co-owns our company.
Well, they
is the
have
one who needs
outdoors
the
in
racial
Peru.
sensitivity training.
They have
They
lots
have
of
outdoors in Peru.
yeah.
But here is what I looked up.
Yeah.
The demographics that visit the North Face website, because you can't figure out like who actually buys, and they don't have race ethnicity. They do know.
I'll tell you, it's white people.
Well, they're saying that it's 52% female
Yeah.
from the U.S. who also shop at REI, Burton, and Patagonia.
Sounds about
Okay.
right.
This basically sounds like the Karen initiative. It's like
No.
it's the pure Karen
But why- but
incentive,
still,
isn't it?
why is that bad?
Absolutely
But why is
not.
I
that?
know. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
And by the way, you're both kind of wrong. You do see a lot of North Face
Wrong.
in urban, like in cities, like right. It's not.
That's
North
true.
Face is
All
not
I
just
know-
out in the country.
It doesn't tell you like where, and it
Okay.
doesn't say, this is just
But I'm
like
saying-
it's
what I'm
similarweb.com free data.
What I'm saying is that there are a lot of people buying North Face who've never been in the outdoors. They just have to go from like one subway stop to another coffee shop.
This is true, but
That's true.
I love this. I love this in every way. I think they should.
Give me a.
I'm giving
score,
it a
Matt.
10, and I'm giving it a 10 because I think every company should offer some sort of like thing like this just for fun. Like,
I hope Kid Rock is shooting his puffer jacket by like midnight, right? I mean, this is way worse than Bud Light. This is worse.
Way better, because then Kid Rock could basically be saying, I don't want the 20% off because I don't believe in, I will pay full freight to avoid the DEI. That's awesome to me. That's
Imagine
amazing.
if Bud Light did this. That would be so amazing.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be great.
Wow.
Bud Light, 20% off a 6-pack if you take trans training.
Next headline
training.
Here's a big news, probably the biggest headline of the day, of the week so far. Labor unions end proxy fight at Starbucks after bargaining progress. So we reported earlier this week, I believe, that the Strategic Organizing Center and Starbucks had come to an agreement to meet at the bargaining table. And because of this huge shift, the SOC has withdrawn its proxy contest, trying to get 3 directors on board. What's with that sound effect? Isn't this all part of a good thing? Isn't this one of the reasons why
Here's a quote from the
people
filing.
do proxy contests?
Here's a quote from the filing. Quote, shareholders are optimistic the company is committed to these changes in good faith.
This is how negotiations work.
Yeah.
You have to give a little to get a little.
The give was, we will no longer subject you to our slate, which might have won a seat on your board.
I love your optimism
and good faith.
I love your optimism. No one on their slate was going to get above 8% of the vote.
Probably not.
I think this makes Howard Schultz sad, which makes me
Yes.
happy.
I think
wow.
everything is
That's
making
a good
him
point.
sad. I think
Yeah.
you're
It
right,
makes me
Ari.
happy.
I like that.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
Look,
Let's hope for more.
I think this shovels under the rug things that actually could have gone to vote. Like ISS wrote in their support of, in their rejection of SOC directors and their support of Starbucks directors, they wrote that the new Starbucks directors appeared, and this is a quote, appear to be thoughtful about these issues.
That was
the deep fucking analysis.
There was an
that they did.
appearance of an education.
Like somebody looked at them and they're like, you look like someone who might care about this.
He's got his shirt tucked in. Yeah, he's looking okay.
They are a little alive.
Like, I know that the SOC slate was unlikely to win. They might have won one at most, but is unlikely to win anything. But the fact is, ISS comes out in support of, we did a proxy countdown on this.
And
Glass Lewis came out in support of Starbucks directors. Mm-hmm. What we said in our proxy countdown was the slate that Starbucks has put forth is amazing if the only thing you want is growth of an unregulated drug at all costs. They were an awesome slate for that, right? That's what we said. Yeah. And if you want guardrails that involve either labor guardrails, which is what the SOC slate, or any other guardrails, which no one in either slate really offers, this is not the board for you. So what is happening is the one chance you have to make a point that these directors are largely compromised. They're largely interconnected. They largely vote with themselves. We've taken off the table for, quote, optimistic good faith.
Well,
that's what.
Where I don't agree with you is that this was part of the reason to propose the slate in the first place, was to move forward the negotiation with the unions.
I get it, but there's a bigger issue at play that SOC is. It becomes myopic, right? We're only focused entirely on our one issue, which was negotiate with the unions, rather than saying the system by which these people make decisions is broken. And
that's true. That's what we're here for, Matt. That's not what the SOC is here for.
Well, but they're the ones with the slate. We don't have any slates up, so I'm going to give this a 4. I'm disappointed.
How does it feel
them
to be wrong so consistently in your life? How does that feel?
Well, all my answers are correct today.
How does it feel that you're sitting by a woman who's always right and you're like
what I hear
wrong?
is we need a slate. I see.
Yeah, we need a slate.
I see 3 of us here.
That's right.
Next headline.
Slate.
Here's another good one. Jamie Dimon takes a stand by signing JP Morgan up as the first big bank to reveal a key clean energy metric to investors. So he struck an agreement with 3 New York City pension funds. to disclose the ratio of its clean energy to fossil fuel financing. Look, the point being that he's the only one to have done it.
This is
What
like
did
the
he
time he
do?
took a
I'm
kneel.
sorry.
Remember the time he took a kneel?
I'm going to repeat this because Matt was jibber jabbering
What
in the
did he
background.
actually do?
He
besides
struck an
taking a
agreement
stand?
with 3 New York City pension funds to disclose the ratio of its clean energy to fossil fuel financing.
Oh, jeez.
So no one else is
wow.
disclosing
Okay.
this. None of the other banks.
This
I know
sounds
Matt's being a
great.
skeptic, but progress is slow.
I like it.
Thank
I'm
you,
going to give it
Ari.
an 8.
The largest investors and financiers of fossil fuels disclosing this metric can only really mean one thing.
That
That
they
metric
did
doesn't
great.
matter.
They're
Do
proud
really
of it.
fucking good on this metric, right?
Okay.
The only reason why you stand up and do it first is if you don't suck at it. Like, there's no
Okay,
way they
well,
were going to stand up.
That's good. It's good they don't suck at it.
Except that, like, isn't it like a pseudo greenwash if you're like,
It
if
could
you're like, I don't know. I
Look,
show
but
me
you know
the-
how this game works, Matt. It's everything is is pure influence in this corporate disclosure world, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
just
only way
saying.
we got to
I'll
30%
show
women on
you
the boards
mine
in,
if you
in the
show
US.
me yours.
Yes, it's the only way we've made progress in this ESG realm.
I'm just saying that, like, let me look at the votes of the pension funds that they made this agreement with and the voting for the entire board of JP Morgan year in and year out. I'm
True
less
cynic.
impressed if, like, I don't know, man. Being the first one to report a metric does not seem like something we should be fucking
you-
cheering for.
Are you kidding? We're
How
always
dare
like,
you.
show me. Show
Yeah,
me.
they
show
should
me.
all show me,
Look,
but-
What's
see,
your terrible
they're
score,
showing
Matt?
you.
I'm going to give it a 5 because it's not like the worst. It's
How
just
dare
a
you.
nothing burger to me.
Oh, let's move on. Let's talk about
And
our
by the
favorite
way,
proxy
that's the
contest.
correct answer.
Favorite proxy contest going over at Disney. Trian. We have made fun of Trian, the Nelson Peltz Fund. We made fun of them for weeks because we don't really know what their plan is. They finally released a 132-page white
Wow.
paper.
Yeah, I'm in the middle
Although
of it.
the white paper is in quotes because it's really just a slideshow.
Is
They're
it a
calling
plan for the
white
next
paper.
100 years of Disney or what?
But here's the takeaway, and here's why I put it in the good game. The headline is that Trian blames poor oversight for Disney's problem in its push for board seats. And
Yeah, that's
one
good.
of its slides says,
I like this.
and which is why Nelson should invest in our company. One of the slides says, the root cause of underperformance is a board that we believe lacks focus, alignment, and accountability. So he's blaming the board for just about everything
Wow.
wrong.
The
with
man
Disney.
with mediocre performance on every board he's ever
Okay,
been on
forget
is
that. Look,
blaming
you're
the
already in
board.
cynic mode. He is supporting
He's
the
been
reason
on
why our
enough
company
boards.
No.
exists, Matt.
I 100% like this.
Thank you.
Especially given that Ari just ran, for those of you who don't have our data, Ari just ran how every board member is connected to any other board member in the last 15 years. And like you can just see like so-and-so is on the board of such and such with so-and-so on the board. It just gives you these loops. And you realized in the last 15 years, there are 80,000 active directors right now. And over the last 15 years, it's what, 200,000 active directors, 220,000 active directors in the last 15 years, 105,000 connections between them. That's basically, there's 200,000 people and there's 100,000 connections between like inside 2 degrees. So it's bananas how basically insular these
web.
boards are. It's just a web of fist bumps. And
Here's a
on
quote.
Disney, there's only one director who isn't connected to the other board members.
Who?
Just
Okay.
one, Froman.
Here's a quote
And
to
he's
that effect.
connected from the Council of Foreign Relations to everybody else. So he's actually connected, just not on other boards.
The white paper says, we believe the root cause of Disney's underperformance is a board that suffers from a culture that impedes oversight and lacks accountability. The directors, despite having seemingly impressive resumes and individual accolades,
Yes.
in
Well,
our view,
seemingly.
lack focus, alignment, and accountability.
He's absolutely
So-
right.
Who's he calling out?
To all the geniuses at
has no data,
Calvert, I know that Calvert's listening right now because I know Calvert has this special podcast radio that they all gather around and listen.
That's
to all
true,
the
they
geniuses at Calvert, I think you might want to look at our data because we assess the performance of individual directors at these companies, and Nelson would love it. Nelson Peltz would love it.
Well, here's what I think. I'm going to push back against my instincts because I'm like 40 pages into Trian's presentation, and they have not one suggestion yet. It's just Disney sucks. Disney sucks.
Well, Jay
Disney
Rasulo
sucks,
and Nelson
that
Peltz
guy's
are the
fault.
suggestions. Jay Rasulo, the former CFO.
But they
and
don't
Nelson
have
Peltz.
any strategic suggestions so far in the first 30 or 40
The strategy,
pages.
Matt,
I'm
is to
working my way
restore
to
the
it.
magic. That's the strategy.
I forgot,
Restore
yeah.
the magic.
But blaming the board and management
Thank you.
is 100%.
This is who we
The
are.
right-
the right call.
Yes.
Like
Come
if
on.
you're going to be
What's-
pissed at them, that's who you're pissed
Come on.
at. It's a
Absolutely.
10.
What's the score
It's a
here?
10. It's a 10.
Ari?
You're unfocused. It's a 10.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a
it has
10.
to be a 10.
Everybody
Has to
agrees.
be.
The audience loves it.
Up next, CVS and Walgreens to start selling the abortion pill this month.
For
Although-
some reason I thought you were gonna tell me they were gonna merge, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not good. That
Nah,
sucks.
that would be antitrust everywhere.
Well, okay, this is good.
Right?
think I had
guess.
this. I
Over
think
the
I-
counter? Isn't this good?
Yeah, they announced this. I had
I
it
mean, look-
in one of my stories a couple months ago.
I got to find something here. After the Alabama Supreme Court rules that 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 in the IVF situation that the embryos essentially are people. What did they? What is it? What did they say?
said they were
The frozen embryos are people.
unborn people or peoples or something
So
like that.
at least there's like something going on that could be good for somebody. Probably in a blue state only, though. I'm assuming they're not going to sell these in red states.
Well,
Axis. I'm all for Axis.
How much should we thank Stefano Pacina for Walgreens? With his 65% influence.
He's handing those out.
He's the guy.
Himself.
He's the guy behind the counter. Like, here's yours. Here's yours.
I'm gonna give this a 10, Damien.
Yeah, why not?
I am not going to give this a 10, obviously, and not for anything to do with this, but it does a little bit seem like two pharmacies act as pharmacies, sell drug that is legal in places.
We're seeing so many institutions pre-cave to the anti-woke, anti-ESG crowd that at least they're pushing forward to make some money off of this.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I'm happy that they're making money off of this.
This is the good game, Matt. I'm looking for victories anywhere we can. after that IVF decision, this to me is a victory. The only problem is that they're not going to sell this by mail, which is absolute bullshit to me. We're still a federal country of 50 states. I mean, that I can't buy this over the mail is ridiculous. But,
I'm giving this a 6. It's
all right.
it's like a notch
it's better than a 5. Better than a 5.
horrible.
Moving on. Here's one that we talked about in the past, but I want you two to officially weigh in on. Elon Musk sues OpenAI and Sam Altman for violating the company's principles. Musk said the prominent AI startup had put profit and commercial interests ahead of seeking to benefit humanity.
I love that. I love that.
Again, I don't support
Breaking
Musk
news.
It
ever.
seems so
I don't ever
cynical,
support
but
Musk.
I don't care.
And I'm putting him in my good game. So
Breaking news.
breaking news. And let me give you a quote from this. Actually, OpenAI has been transformed into a closed source de facto subsidiary of the largest technology company, Microsoft. So
Yeah,
that's part of
OpenAI is now closed. WX.
But part of my
Thank you.
problem is that this, like the lawyers looking to get $5 billion in fees,
$6 billion
for clawing back the money from Elon Musk. This feels like Elon Musk just going after his
A competitor.
biggest competitor
Yeah, it does.
for
Unfortunately, it
AI.
does.
That's
Yeah.
all this is. It's not. He's not doing
I'm
this
all
for the
for
benefit.
it.
He started his own AI company. So if you're talking about for the benefit of humanity, maybe your own AI company should be open source
But-
also.
Matt, but if we're angry that they fired the only two women who knew how to do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah, we
over
are
OpenAI
angry
on the
about
board,
that.
then we
That's
should be
I
supporting
can get
this,
behind
shouldn't we?
this.
That's the only reason why I would get behind this is because he's making the case that the board did its job when they fired Altman when they fired him. That's the only
Yes.
reason why you could get behind this.
This is
What
a
would
10.
be your score? 10 for Ari. What do you think?
No.
I think this is good.
You don't get to tell our.
I don't care
dictate
why
Ari's
he's
score.
doing it. I like that it's happening.
Yeah, if it wasn't Elon Musk in the subject of this sentence, you would probably be more excited about it, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's your score, Matt?
Even crazy people can do good things.
I'm going to give this a 7. It's
Oh,
good.
it's still good. That's still a good
It's
score.
still good, but it's not 10 good. Come on, dial it back. How
We
much coffee
got
did you have?
two more headlines for the good game, March 5th, 2024. The next one, another lawsuit. The New York, I think this is the city. No, this is the state of New York is suing JBS, the world's largest meat packer. It's a Brazilian meat packer. And New York is suing them over sustainability claims, accusing them of misleading customers with claims it can reduce its carbon footprint despite its growth plan. So JBS has a commitment to be net zero by 2040, and Letitia James, the same woman who has tried Donald Trump, is saying bullshit, and we're suing you.
What? What about like Shell when they're like,
that's-
"Oh, we're gonna do this"? Just
She can't
kidding.
get everybody. She can't get everybody.
Yeah, but you went with JBS, the meat packer. Like there's so
boy, you
many
got- boy, you
companies.
two.
I'm just
Okay.
wondering. Maybe.
Well, let me tell you why.
maybe there's somebody on JBS that she doesn't like. I don't know.
Well, okay. I actually have some data here. According to our data, Jose Batista Sobrino is the 90-year-old founder and board member who controls 76% of influence
Oh, there you go.
at JBS. And overall, the people who run that company it's only 15% women, only 15. That's 2 of 14 executives. One out of 10 fiscal council, 2 out of 9 board members. So maybe she's just upset that it's a nasty, meaty patriarchy. Maybe that's
Yeah, it is meaty. I think this is fine, except in as much as we could come up with 20, 40, 50 examples.
Okay.
Of companies that have set a net zero target, that have plan.
She's one person.
That are in the U.S. jurisdiction where you're more likely to win.
But
guess
these cases
Shell is
have
not.
precedence. If you win, there's a precedent.
Yeah, I'm all for it. This is a
Thank
10.
you, Ari. Thank you.
Go get
Ari
him.
supports black
Go
women
get
in New
'em.
York.
Wait, that's
on,
how
Matt.
this vote
Come
is.
on.
Go get Big Ag. Is this
on.
considered Big Ag?
This
No.
is big meat.
Yes, it is. It is big meat.
I'm going to give this a 5. It's good and not good. I don't care.
I don't understand Matt's 5. And let's end the good game with this headline.
Ending a good game is the best idea ever.
I feel like this is gonna trigger Matt. Here's the headline: Millionaire banking boss says ESG investing is good for business. If that makes me woke, shoot me.
Ooh.
This is Standard Chartered's CEO Bill Winters, who is not phased by ESG naysayers. That's,
Shoot me. That's he's showing how not woke he is.
Yeah, although
He's trying to confuse people.
Let me caveat this headline, though, for those who don't know. Unfortunately, Standard Chartered is not an American company. It happens to be in the UK, so they're not really part of the same. Although, actually, that's not true. The UK is more and more a part of this woke
UK
war.
has been heavy on the anti-woke
Yeah, Rishi
stuff.
Sunak, Prime Minister, is heavily anti-woke.
I will say that Standard Chartered, for as long as I was back at the mothership at MSCI, when I way back in the day when I was actually hand analyzing all these banks,
Analyzing. I mean,
getting every piece of data by hand and then doing the analysis.
That's also how you get your milk in the morning, is it?
Right.
Not hand analyzing.
Yeah. Standard Chartered was year in, year out, the top-rated company.
Is that
year
right?
in and year out. Yeah, no
So
joke. Always the
So
top.
this is a bit like your Jamie Dimon thing. Then maybe the only reason why he cares is that he's good at it.
They did, however, after I stopped analyzing the companies, having no relation to my analyzing the companies. They did, however, find themselves stripping IDs off of transactions coming out of sanctioned countries.
Okay.
And so they would. You're not supposed to, as a bank, be doing any business in Iran, but they'd strip the IDs off and do business in Iran.
Ooh.
And he came out the same. Actually, it was the prior CEO came out and said, "How dare you tell us where we can and can't do business. So they've had some problems in the past.
They're like, oh, that Matt guy's not looking anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what they
Do
said.
business with Iran.
Exactly.
Matt is no longer doing the analysis. So
I forgot the headline. Oh, the guy was like,
Yeah.
I like ESG. Shoot me. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
ESG investing is good for business. If that makes me woke, shoot me.
7.
7? What?
That's a 7.
That's not-
What about Matt? What's
I'm
Matt's
100% on 10 on this. You definitely
Wow.
shoot him if
He
you
went
are
aggro on it. That's why he
I'm
likes
just-
it.
Come on, like if you're gonna take a stand, take a stand.
Wow.
All in.
Let's reveal the scores for the week. This is a banner week for Ari, the Data Queen. Let's start with Matt's score. Matt is consistently comes in at 6 for basically every week, and that's his score for this week. A nice 6.4. That's a 6. I always
That's
round
high
up
for
and down.
me. I'm usually like a 5.2. I feel
No,
like.
but usually like a 5.7, and we give you a round up to a 6.
Yeah.
But Ari is the
Where am
clear
I
winner
at?
this week, rounding up to a 9. She gets an
Wow.
8.5. A 9.
I didn't have any zeros. I did
Incredible,
notice.
incredible.
A 9. How good could this like?
I didn't hate any of them.
Apparently
This is amazing. It's a
Ari
miracle
just
of a good
won.
game.
Ari just wanted the show to be over. She was just like,
Yeah,
10.
that's true.
Good, I'm done.
And for those of you who like the good game and are happy that the good game is back and the Ari is back, that we will be doing the good game now consistently on a bi-weekly basis. We'll be doing the good game, and then the next week on Tuesday we'll do the Nuggets, and then back to the good game, and then I'm going to stop because I think you understand.
I get the pattern. I
Because
see
you
the
appear
pattern
to be, what is it? They appear to, our audience appears to be,
not listening.
what did ISS say?
Oh,
There's an appearance of
the appearance of thoughtfulness. Our audience has the appearance of thoughtfulness.
They do,
That's
they do.
it. That's Hazelnut Rawless and Ari the Data Queen. I'm your Anna Soul, Matt Mascari. We are Free Float. We'll be back to you on Friday to wrap the week, but we got a proxy countdown coming up on Thursday.
Who are we talking about?
Who are we talking about? We are
Analog
talking about
devices.
Analog devices. Also, go look to A-Team ESG Insight Awards. That's a mouthful. Just Google it. A-Team ESG Insight Awards 2024. Free Float Analytics is up for Best Governance Data Provider in the world. We are up against ISS. We are up against these other firms that have investment bankers and VC backing. Our data's better, and we're just a couple of idiots. So go vote for us, because if we win, I want to shove it in their faces and get a tattoo on my chest that says ESG Insight Awards 2024 Best Governance Data Provider. Until later, goodbye.